How many hours a day do you spend on your phone? What do you do on your phone? What's there to do? Well, everything. It's your main line of communication with your friends and family. It's the way you find inspiration, images, videos. It's the way you shop, find reviews for products you'd like to buy. It's where you pull up your map to get you from point A to point B. It's where you see the latest fun trends and the latest upload from your favorite influencer or online personality. It's where you can stay up to date on important global issues to support and empower the people in need around you and disempower inorganic empires. It's also where you may see feedback and comments, some not so nice, on your latest post that you actually spent way longer on than you would have liked to. It's where you see your ex having the time of their life with someone new, where you receive yet another no from a job application, where you play that silly little game that brings you the slightest boost of dopamine to your insanely busy day, or to get an even bigger serotonin boost from finding the perfect aesthetic video of the place you'd much rather be. It's where you add yet another thing to your to-do list, where you see that notification that you didn't reach your fitness goal for the week, that notification that you received an unsolicited text from that person that just won't leave you alone. It's where you go just to stare at the home screen to avoid being seen as awkward at the train station. It's the place you go back to again and again and again, 24/7, and it's exhausting. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I just got back from my 2-week vacation not too long ago, and it was incredible what was revealed to me. Between cosmic updates, healing sessions, and personal reflection points, I knew that my guides and my body were begging me to take a break for a reason. So today I want to take some time to discuss one of the major revelations for me, which surrounds the use of technology. Today, a lot of us have a smartphone, and for years people have been debating where that line is between healthy and unhealthy when it comes to what we do on our phones and how often we use our phones. They started off as a way to communicate with our loved ones, and potentially a love interest, but now, as some have said, the world is at our fingertips. We have the internet, games, social networks, basically a big and bright array of flashing images and notifications. It has become normal to be on our phones for multiple hours a day, doing all sorts of activities for work, for fun, and for interaction with others. This type of interconnectivity has had some benefits for us as a society, but also some drawbacks that aren't talked about very often, especially when they're intangible. I'm here to say that excessive mind-numbing activity on my phone has impacted my mental and spiritual health in many more ways than I was aware of. So let me break it down for you, and then maybe with that, you could find ways to modify your own use to improve your daily presence and life experience. Part 1, in private. Now, with all of this, of course, no one's perfect. It's okay to watch a show, read a fan fiction, or watch a YouTube video or two throughout the week. But what I want to highlight is that in every spare moment, I was on my phone, eating, during work breaks, after work, before bed. And it was during all those points throughout my day that I would engage in that type of low energy, low brain power activity. Like scrolling on TikTok mostly, and watching whatever little random videos that were on my recommended page on YouTube. I relied on my phone, mostly for comfort, but also as a form of escapism. Much, much more than I realized. It's a form of avoidance, avoiding the root of the problem, and avoiding the root of my stress because I was simply too tired in every way. I just wanted to find a point in my crazy busy day to relax in any way that was easy and didn't require much effort or thought. While this was going on, for months I would get sad and stressed that I didn't have time to meditate more, to exercise, to work on my sewing projects, to do creative stuff in general. Those things that are vital for my overall health. Especially the exercise one. I'm disabled, so it's really important for me to move my body in a way that is effective and enough, yet not too straining to the point where my body gets inflamed and stays inflamed all day. So my challenge for myself was to lower my screen time as much as possible. I realized that little phone games are pretty useless, and some of them have easy real-life replacements like word searches, crossword puzzles, coloring books, solitaire with real cards, things like that. I also found, and I know a lot of people have talked about this already in other videos, that doom scrolling is a huge time waster. What I'll do now is check my friends' profiles for life updates every now and then, or I'll just hear it from them in person when we hang out. I was slowly able to stop doom scrolling app to app, but for me, YouTube was the worst, and I know I'm on YouTube right now. But by excessive, I mean like 10 cat videos, and memes after memes, and things like that. With this upcoming little section, I want to hone in on the spiritual aspect of all this, because certain attitudes and behaviors that have become a norm in society are actually much more depleting to not only ourselves but to others than we know. Specifically, I'm talking about drama, talking in depth about somebody's personal life, whether we directly know them or not. On YouTube especially, although these commentary, deep dive, analysis videos can be entertaining, zeroing in on someone's despair, private issues, or whatever just isn't good to consume all the time, or use so much energy delving into. Now let me make a distinction. It's very important to call out problematic and harmful behavior. What I'm referring to is petty stuff, like celebrity drama, overanalyzing why so-and-so didn't say hi to so-and-so at a certain event, so-and-so blocked so-and-so on this social media platform, so on and so forth. Another much bigger and specific example I'll mention is the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case. Now I will say that I didn't watch any of it. I didn't tune in live to the different phases of the trial. I didn't watch any of the deep dives here on YouTube. I just know some of the basic blurbs that have popped up in random headlines with tidbits of generalized information. It was so long with so many court days. If you think about it, they were two people in a marriage because they loved each other. Traumatic things happened within that marriage, and their separation took a lot of time, money, and tears on both sides. That's a really sad thing. Imagine if you were going through something like that. Maybe you have. Would you want it to be broadcast to the entire world just for some random people who don't even know you to rip it apart and analyze it to pieces? It's time-consuming and draining to be tuning in to the latest celebrity drama all the time. Everything I mentioned within the past couple minutes are ways that we get sucked into our phones and out of the present moment. We get exposed to so much energy, frequencies, vibrations, and ideas that may or may not support us holistically in the long run. Here are some of the activities that I like to do now in my free time, in no particular order, but it's an array of things that you can do either at home, spontaneously, or go out with some planning, and some in between. Read a book, color, paint, do a craft, take a walk or get out into nature, work on a sewing project, bake, make a mood board or a collage, dance, sing, play my flute, organize or clean something, see a friend, spend time with family, do a word search book page thing, meditate with or without an audio, work on one of my personal growth or spiritual projects, and go out and explore a new place or attend a local event. We all have different things we like to do. Maybe some of the activities I listed are things that you also enjoy, or maybe not. I invite you to get in touch with the things that maybe you don't do anymore, that you used to love to do, or the things that you haven't had time to do as often. Maybe it's bird watching, hiking, fishing. Did I really have to go fishing? Glass blowing, upcycling, welding. There are so many cool hobbies and crafts to choose from out there to either get into as a beginner or to rekindle in your life. Part 2, in public. I also noticed that my phone was a crutch in public settings. I didn't want to appear awkward or weird, waiting around somewhere with nothing to entertain me, and I think we all kind of feel that way. If you think about it, each generation kind of had their thing. Older generations had newspapers, and then you had books become more popular, and then later on Kindles, and now phones. At first, it was simply to make the time pass, but nowadays I almost feel like it's turned into a social expectation. You're seen as out of place if you just sit somewhere. What are you doing? What or who are you waiting for? I just started my journey of practicing being okay with and feeling safe just existing somewhere. Like the other day, I took my sister to a dentist appointment. It was a 30-minute appointment and one other person was in the waiting room. I personally stared at the wall while they were on their phone. It was good for a while, it was nice. It was a nice mental break to just stare off into space for a while, because personally I have a very busy brain. I've gotten better at it over the years, better about it over the years. But anyway, it was good for a while, and then a family walks in, a parent with a couple kids. They ended up sitting right across from me in the spot that I was staring at. So I just picked a new spot on the ground in between their chairs they were sitting at. Eventually, the kids had gotten up to go into their appointment, and already soon after that, my sister came out and was ready to go home. And guess what? Nothing bad happened. I got up and drove us home. At the end of the day, no one's paying nearly as much attention to us as we think they are at any given moment. I ended up being able to just be present, sit, breathe. There was music playing in the office, and I just relaxed for a while. So combining these two parts, where I discussed private use of my phone and public use of my phone, here are the benefits that I've noticed so far. It's been way more beneficial than I thought it would be, honestly. I didn't really know what I was getting into. I didn't know all these connections that the use of my phone had in my life. I'm much more at peace, first of all. I'm a very anxious person, so by bringing more intention into my daily life and my actions, big and small, I found out that a lot of things that usually trigger me pretty bad don't affect me as much anymore. They don't bother me in my everyday life as much as they did before. Also, I don't oversleep, so now I can wake up at 7:30-ish every day and then take my time laying awake before getting up to do a stretch routine, along with a dance or yoga routine, whatever I'm feeling that day, before doing my daily electromagnetic technique spiritually. I've also had more time for my personal growth and spiritual projects in a non-overwhelming way, because I actually use my downtime effectively now and consciously. It's actually positively affected how I approach my relationships too. Because as sad as it may sound, if, for instance, a member of my family wanted to spend time with me or something on a moment's notice, I would feel just a little upset on the inside, because I would think to myself, oh well, I was gonna do this and that project. Well, actually, I could have worked on such and such project a few hours ago when I instead spent that time scrolling on YouTube Shorts for an hour. You see what I mean? I have more time to make healthy meals for myself, and I can keep my space cleaner. There's just less accumulated piles of things. My little boxes, such as my stationery and craft boxes, are all organized, etc. Overall, I feel much more balanced and in tune with all of my life categories. I can't recommend this type of cleanse and reapproach thing enough. And so, in closing, the advancement of technology is just getting faster, but we can choose to slow down and choose how we spend our time, our money, and our energy. In my mind, we must know how to maintain our health in every category in a way that's life-affirming and organic to us. Because I've seen in my own life how much better, clearer, and grounded I feel, and how present I am. It's really hard to do that in this society. Your thoughts, the words you express to others, the way you carry yourself and move your body, it can all be boiled down to a seemingly simple thing. For me, that was my relationship with my phone. And it was, in fact, a much bigger thing than I was aware of. And so that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, found it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed to my channel already, think about it. Do it if you want. Wishing you a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.